When you enter the lab, make sure to put on safety glasses, as well as pull back long hair, remove any loose jewelry, secure loose clothing such as sweatshirt strings, and also make sure you're wearing closed-toed shoes and that they're tied. When using the bandsaw, before you even start, make sure that the blade guard is about 1/4 of an inch above the material you are cutting. To do this, turn the knob on the back to the left, slide the guard to the needed height, and then tighten the knob by turning it to the right. If you are using any jigs or fixtures, make sure to set these up as well. When you are ready, first making sure that the machine is in the off or stop position, plug the machine in and press the red button on the yellow box. If you don't do this, the machine will not start. If the box makes a beeping noise, this means the machine is not off, so press the off button and try again. Then, turn on the machine, and once it gets up to full speed, begin cutting. Make sure to keep your fingers out of the metal circle around the blade, as well as off the cut line, and keep your thumbs tucked in. When you are finished cutting, stop the machine, and remember to only remove your material and scraps when the machine is completely stopped. Once you removed your material, you can unplug the machine. Same as the bandsaw, if you're using any jigs or fixtures on the chop saw, make sure to set these up before starting. If you do not need the saw to slide out, make sure to lock it, and if you do, make sure it's unlocked. Also, clamp down the material if possible. When you're ready, plug in the machine and make sure the blade is lined up with your cut line, and also make sure to keep your fingers off the trigger at this point. When you're ready, press the trigger to start the blade, and then bring it down and cut your material. Make sure not to cut too fast or back up while cutting. When you're finished, release the trigger and don't bring up the blade until it's completely stopped. Then you can unplug the machine. When using the sander, make sure to keep your material on the table the whole time. If any adjustments need to be made, do this while the machine is still off. Pieces less than 1 inch should not be sanded on the sander. When you're finished, move the piece back slightly and turn off the machine. Do not remove it or leave the machine until it's completely stopped. Always sand on the downward motion of the belt or disc and don't put a lot of pressure on it. Make sure to hold the piece securely and move the piece back and forth slightly so it doesn't burn. Also keep your fingers away from the surface so you don't burn yourself. Before doing anything on the router, make sure it is unplugged and also off. Adjust the backboard on top of the table if needed as well. Then, select the bit you need out of the box and make sure it's properly secured in the collet chuck by first screwing it in and then tightening it really well with the wrenches. Then, put the machine into the table and adjust it to whatever height needed, making sure not to hit the bit. Twist it into the base and make sure that it is locked in place by pressing down the black bar. Then, close the door and turn on the machine. Slide your material slowly along the table from right to left. If you go left to right, it may catch and go flying across the room. When you're finished, stop the machine and take it out of the table, making sure it's unplugged too. Finally, take out the bit so it's ready for the next user. To do this, loosen the chuck using the wrenches. It'll be really tight at first, so this will take some effort. When you finally get it out, put it back in the case.